Thank you, Urson. All right, Brianna. Thank you very much. We had a little bit of water spill. Just so you know also, for open mic night, we'll give more announcements, but that there is a blue tape X, so you know where to stand. All right? All right. Hopefully you can do it better than Joe Biden.
Father, thank you so much for bringing everybody here tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to share and build our community, and we thank you for each and every individual that you've given many gifts and talents in this room. So we thank you for the opportunity to learn more about each other. And Lord, I just pray that everyone here just has a very close and personal relationship with you. And if not, that they would ask those of us who do, because there's nothing better. And we thank you that we don't have to live in fear, and that we can be as bold as a lion and fight this good fight. We thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Okay, let's scream out of blank. Brianna. Okay. All right. Scripture for the day, very appropriate. If I have time later, I'll share more about that. But for now, we're just going to give Scripture, the whole armor of God. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against pedophiles. Just kidding. Principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in this evil day, and having done all, to stand. Are you hearing that? Stand. Stand, therefore, having girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and having shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with which you will be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked one. And take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplication for all the saints. Okay, so we'll talk more about that later, but I read that when I'm coming up against a hard enemy. 2.5 years ago when I fought Antifa, I prayed that out loud, and we were protected. It works. And I absolutely, with every breath in me, know that prayer works. And with boldness and courageousness and true faith and confidence, knowing that he's got us protected. So if you want to have that confidence, you can talk to any one of us leaders. Okay, so some rules of engagement. We've had some interesting mic nights in the past, so we have to institute a few rules. Thanks, Rihanna. And so the first thing is, sometimes people don't know where to stand, okay? So we have our little blue X. Like I said, we're gonna do better than Joe Biden. Not hard to do, not hard. So we're checking you against Joe Biden, okay? Just so you know, comparison is happening. Okay, I'm teasing. Okay, also about the microphone. We have the speakers on loud, but if you hold it down here, it isn't working. So leave the mic, like right here. So you might hear that's better than being down here and nobody can hear you, okay? We want to hear what you have to say. Everyone's gonna have 5 minutes. We're gonna be running a timer, so we will let you know. Please try not to go over. If you do go over, you have more to say, which is possible. We don't have a super long sign-up sheet at this point, so there may be time at the end. We do go till 8:30, so we have time to share if you run out of time in your first 5 minutes to talk. Let's see, other than that, please silence your cell phones. If you have a side conversation that you absolutely cannot wait until the end for, please take it outside the room so everybody can hear the speakers. And let's see, we have lots of goodies on the tables. I know that are going to be coming up and having announcements, but we have lemons and t-shirts and eggs and stuff. No eggs? Oh, that's right. No eggs today. Sorry. That whole thing with the feed is tainted, so it makes the eggs not laying. Yeah, that happened. And the molting thing that chickens do naturally. So no eggs today, but we have another table back there with Suzanne Ruiz. She's got all kinds of goodies from Judy Mikovits and other things, so you want to check that out for sure. Other than that, let's see, we wanted to go ahead and do announcements. So Dawn, do you want to share your announcement first?
My name is...
That's right.
So this is just a reminder, I Am for the Voiceless. It's going to the Planned Parenthood in Mission Viejo. I did it with Lori for the first time a few weeks ago, and it was amazing, and it's such a blessing. And there's different things that you can do. You can walk the grounds and pray. I did reconnaissance, so I was watching for anyone who is going into the hotline, and take license plates and call the number if you are suspect that human trafficking is happening. I think we're all a little bit hyper aware right now with all the things in the media. Thank you.
All right, and Rita, you have no announcement because you're going to save yours for the 5 minutes, correct? And same with Angie. Okay, we're good. All right, awesome. All right, so I'm going to do some announcements and then we'll get into it. Okay, first of all, can you scroll down just a skosh? Or maybe it's the projector. Yeah, it's projecting. Oopsie. Okay, so In-N-Out. You can see that it's In-N-Out Burger. They held strong in San Francisco when they were doing all the dirtbag stuff up there in San Francisco, as they always do. And, running businesses right out on the rail. So this time, In-N-Out has come out strongly against masks for all of their employees. Yeah. It would have been nice in 2020, but day late, dollar short. But to be honest, there are still lots of brainwashed people out there wearing their masks in their cars by themselves with the windows rolled up, because they're probably infectious to themselves. I don't know. So that was a big deal. This is their general guidelines. I can post that if you want in the We the People OC chat, but it's talking about how you will have to have an exact medical note to wear a mask. It's completely reverse of their normal dirtbag policy. So, we are really proud of In-N-Out. They are a Christian company, they are privately owned, and BlackRock can't come after them and say, but you can't have this. Your ESG score is not high enough. They can't do any of that. So, they are doing good things, and that's good in multiple states. I think it was like Nevada, Texas, Utah, Arizona, and others were all affected by this policy, so that's pretty awesome. So please, if you don't want to have the bun, get a protein wrap, and please support In-N-Out Burger. They will do a lettuce wrap for you. Okay, so please support In-N-Out Burger. That was it. Okay, next, tomorrow night, for those of you who live in Garden Grove or support school boards, this one does not need support. They need to be torn down. So we're going in protest. We are supporting the teacher, not the school board in this instance. 34 years in the community. He is taking a stand for parents. His name is Sean Redmond, and he was ordered to ask their students their gender identity, religion, and sexual identity, as well as lie to parents about the information collected. So we are coming out strong against this. There is an attorney that has put this out on the California Parents Union Instagram, and we caught wind of it from another resident of Garden Grove who also ran for school board, so she's still watching, and we will be there. My understanding is that there is construction happening at the district building, 10331 Stanford Avenue, Garden Grove. It's actually in the building next door is what I understand, and they're limiting a topic to 15 minutes. So get creative with your topics, okay? So, yeah, so we need to have signs. We support teachers that support parents. Parents are stakeholders, things like that should be made known. And so the teachers like them, the students like them, the parents like them. just the school board, and who knows who ratted them out.
Are you saying that they get each person 15 minutes to speak?
No, what I'm telling you is that if you're all talking about this topic, they're going to say 15 minutes and then they cut them off. So if it's 3 minutes per speaker, they're only going to allow 5 speakers on the topic. So if you want to hear about something, give them a different topic. Grooming, that would be a good one. Yeah, trans ideology might be another one. Parents as stakeholders might be another. So we can be creative about it, but I plan to be there. This is my hometown, so please come out. There are a few people showing up for this one, so we could appreciate your school board support or protesting against. Thank you. Okay, next Monday. Last week we announced that it was this Monday. Next Monday, no Zito's meeting here. Instead, we are going to support a conservative board. Orange Unified is under attack. They are undergoing a recall right now for 2 of their conservative members, and that would be Rick Ledesma and Madison Minor. So we do need your support, and Monday, July 24th, 7 to 9. Now, 7 to 9 is wishful thinking. It's wishful thinking. But stay as long as you can, come when you can. I rolled in really late and then stayed as long as I could. So do what you can. It's at 1401 North Handy Street. That is off of Catella, and it's toward Villa Park. And then you make a left onto, I think it's Handy. You know, the address, 1401 North Handy. Right, so it's very close to the Freeway 55 and Catella. So not far from here, and that is next Monday. We are hoping that We the People shows up and shows out. We want big numbers in support of. And she's been getting some good support, but we want to stay consistent, and it's right in our neighborhood. This is what we've been fighting for. So please come out. Okay. So I wanted to hear that. I don't know if you've seen this video yet, but this one was important enough that we wanted to share. So let's go ahead and roll that.
My name is Tara Rodas, and thanks to the bravery of Aaron Stevenson, and thanks to Project Veritas and James O'Keefe for publishing the story, I was sitting on the Pomona Fairplex emergency intake site processing unaccompanied children. So you may know that children were coming to this country from other countries. We were taking them into the care, HHS, and then delivering them to sponsors, unvetted sponsors throughout the United States. So because one whistleblower came forward and because one organization was willing to tell the truth, I was able to then uncover and report that the US government is the middleman in a large-scale, multi-billion-dollar child trafficking operation. We literally had government-sponsored, taxpayer-funded child trafficking. So one whistleblower coming forward, telling the truth, sets in motion a cascade of things that you could never imagine. So I was very grateful for the opportunity for someone to tell the truth. And who knows, maybe one of you could be the next person to come forward. So, along with my buddy Aaron, I'm going to continue to speak the truth until children are rescued, criminals are prosecuted, and the United States government no longer is putting billions of dollars to traffic children.
Very timely, very timely. So, in case y'all haven't seen it yet, you need to. It's called Sound of Freedom. It's been doing well beyond what they imagined. They did a pay it forward program, so people that couldn't afford to can get free tickets to go see the movie, and it has far exceeded their donations. They were expecting $2 million in donations to pay it forward in free tickets. They have, as of yesterday, it was over $7 million. Over $7 million. If you go to angel.com/tickets/Sound of Freedom, I've been sharing this in our chats, this link for angel.com. Angel Studios is the name of the place that produced it. So now they're almost at 8 million. As of today, 7,965,598 tickets have been purchased. and they're buying them in California and all over the place. And you can get tickets for free, and you can pay it forward if you've already seen it. It's a phenomenally well done movie, very well done. We went to go see it without purchasing in advance because on Tuesdays at Century Stadium 25 in Orange, off of Catella and the 57, near the Honda Center and Angel Stadium, right there, we saw Jesus Revolution. They have recliners, and on Tuesdays it's $5. Tuesday nights, $5 at Century Stadium 25. That's our home place because you get the luxury recliner, you get heated seats on a cold day. Didn't need it. And they've got the tray tables. You can sit back and it's fabulous. $5 on Tuesday. Oh, they do have a bar. They do actually have ice cream and alcohol. It's pretty awesome. So we love that place. And it's $5 on Tuesdays. So we went over there because we don't like to pay the fees. So we got there. We wanted to see the 5:20 showing, and it and the two past it were all sold out. All sold out. Tuesdays is hopping because it's $5. They, not hard to figure out. We ended up going to the 10:10 showing. But here's this cool thing. They were sold out. They were not anticipating this type of response to the movie. It has far exceeded the expectations and projections and their production costs. And at 10:10, we went and saw it. And it was a full theater. It was still full. And it was a Tuesday night, so it was very busy. It's been busy. And they were adding theaters to accommodate all of the sales that were coming in and all the demand. So that's what we want to keep doing. Even China, AMC, is still showing this movie, and they're showing it a lot. So you can see it locally, but we like Cinemark, we don't like AMC for that reason. So we do Century Stadium 25. So right down the street, awesome theater, $5 on Tuesday nights. Worth your time. So I wanted to show you the trailer in case you haven't seen it yet. I hope you have, but we're going to show it anyways just to make sure we're covering all our bases. And then we are going to start on open mic night. Thank you.
How'd that make you feel? Giving your child his freedom. Felt good. You've been at this for 12 years. My country, 'tis of thee. Why are you doing it? Because God's children are not for sale. It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen.
For Homeland Security, we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
This job tears you to pieces. And this is my only chance to put those pieces back together.
And yet somehow, you have failed to bring me one real-world lead.
It's over, Tim. Close up. And come back home.
So you quit your job and you go and rescue those kids.
South of that river is all rebel territory. No one goes in. What if this is your daughter? Sorry, she's gone. Hear that? That's the sound of freedom. Sound of Freedom is one of those films that can legitimately change this world. So we want to ignite a fire in audiences and open their eyes to the dark reality of millions of children that need our help. Let's make this film a historic event and the start, the end of child trafficking. Theaters across this country are already selling out. Pre-order your tickets today and you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
Pretty awesome stuff. If you haven't seen it, go see it for free. $8 million has been donated, so you can go see it for free if it's a problem. Don't make that a reason. Don't ever make money a reason to go see this or not see this movie, because it's there for you. And there's a lot of showings all over the place. It's done an amazing job so far. There's some controversy around it. It's really interesting. There's some real conflicting information. And it's really hard because this is an information war, if nothing else, and getting out the truth. I tend to believe that these people are on the right side of things and that this is truly going on. One, because Project Veritas is busting these things wide open. Two, because I heard that there was 800 children rescued off of a barge in San Francisco that were all trafficked, and it was basically like a child trafficking hotel where people could get on the barge, do their business, and come off. 800 children were rescued. And that started out of a little church in Yuba City called Glad Tidings Church in Yuba City. I don't know, do you know when that happened, Francis? I don't remember. It was just a few weeks ago. You can't find it in the news. But a podcaster that I follow, very well researched, shared that on a podcast. 800 children, one barge in San Francisco Bay, and all the unimaginable was happening right there. So regardless of what they say, okay, because here's some of the junk that you're going to hear. Oh, it's a conspiracy theory, Rolling Stone. Oh, this is, doing amazingly well despite the QAnon associations, obvious QAnon associations, Variety. But Forbes is saying, but hey, it's doing amazingly well. First weekend, it finished third behind The Insidious Red Door, which looks really creepy and yuck. And then Indiana Jones, right? This weekend was Mission Impossible, whatever, number 55 or something. And this movie actually moved up in the polls to number 2, knocking other people down. It's gaining steam, not losing, and that's very unusual. The film cost $14 million, not a big budget film. 14 million. And as of yesterday, I checked, 5 hours ago, it had been reported that it was at $85 million in gross sales. Okay, so now it's up to 100.
Child trafficking is the #1 sellable item that the crime syndicates do over drugs or anything else, and it's the one thing that they can resell over and over and over again.
Correct. They say that in the movie. Yeah, it's a commodity that you can just resell. I urge you, it's worth your time, it's well done, and we know that we can bring light to the darkness, but we have to see and know where the darkness is first in order to shed that light. So sometimes these topics are heavy, sometimes we don't want to talk about it, sometimes we just want to go home and cry, especially if you've had your own children. But nonetheless, it is important. We need to shed light. Maybe God's calling his children, because there's not just a couple people talking about it. Before this movie came out, there was a lot of people talking about it. There's been people that have been fighting this for years. So they're trying to say that sex trafficking and child trafficking is a conspiracy theory? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Isn't that what they did? Isn't it J6 a conspiracy theory? Isn't COVID a conspiracy? Oh, right. We were right on all of those. So the more they scream that it's conspiracy theory, the more they say it's QAnon to dismiss it and make it crazy town, right? The more they do social media blackout on all the channels. They're not showing it. The media's not talking about it. The news doesn't share about it. I tend to believe that that's what's really happening. So there is a lot of junk behind the scenes about who Tim Ballard's tied to and all the investors and stuff, and that's weird too, because that doesn't add up. Because if they're supposed to be tied to the Clintons and the Rothschilds, then that doesn't make sense with why would this movie even get out? So, I don't understand it all, but here's the thing. We know that misinformation is a real thing. We know that AI is out there creating falsehoods. We know that they can do deep fakes with things. Now, there's all kinds of junk. So you have to do your research, but it's getting more and more difficult to find truth, and we have to pray for discernment. We have to pray, because this is all there's so much fake news out there, and I'm not talking about the Trump type of fake news, I'm talking about all kinds of fake news that they're legitimately and intentionally putting out to confuse us and to dilute the message. So we just have to continue to pray on that. Okay, so I saw some people walking in. Did you need to, are you going to speak tonight, or are you good? We have a sign-up sheet that we're going to continue to sign around here. I have it, so if anyone needs to sign up, you can sign up because it's open mic night, okay? And everyone's welcome to speak. This is our community, and we are wanting to hear from you. So we're going to start tonight with Person Russell of Patriot Force. You're better than mine.
Right? Hello, everybody. My name is Person Russell. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
I got the mic at the right spot.
Pretty close.
Well, I ate an In-N-Out burger today, so I feel pretty good about that. I watched Sound of Freedom, and for anyone else in tears, well, I mean, there was a couple times I just had to take a deep breath. It was just some intense moments in that film. And tomorrow I've got my company and my buddy's company. We're taking 12 to 13 of us, all of our staff and everything, Wednesday. So the more we get out and share that, the better it is for all those poor kids out there that are affected. I want to talk about elections. So I know I got 5 minutes, and I'll roll through this here. We're dealing with critical race theory. We're dealing with trans drag shows for our kids. We're dealing with wasteful, absolutely abusive spending that is out of control with $30-something trillion in debt. We're going to tackle on parents' rights happening here directly in California with all the legislation that's happening, and our governor just passing them like he's writing bad checks. We have culturally activist teachers that are trying to indoctrinate our kids instead of teach them and teach them how to think, not what to think. We have an open border that's out of control. It has human trafficking written and tied into the Sound of Freedom movie. We have our lowest petroleum reserves in like 60 or 70 years, and we're not bringing on new energy resources here in the United States. We're sending billions to another country while we can't even build a border wall for about 1/100th of the price. We have an illegitimate president in office as well as an illegitimate governor in office. That's what one side's doing. And the other side is talking about ballot harvesting and voting early. They're not fighting for us to push back against these narratives. And if any of the people that are in office that call themselves Republicans or conservatives that have seen that movie Sound of Freedom, how there isn't 100 and something or 200 and something and growing number of city council people, of school board members, of county board supervisors, of people in Congress that are down there and making an absolute stink about it, that really shows you how much our elections have consequences. Our election coming up in 2024 is an important election, and I think we all know this, but I'm not going to say it's the most important election because I keep hearing that marketing slogan. It's one where we have to wake up and realize what our republic form of government represents for us, not only, but the rest of the world. And if we lose that to communism or fascism, the chances of our future generations of kids or us ourselves ever actually getting that back are very, 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 very limited. There is no other America to go to. There is no other place to found and create something new and fresh like we've created for this great experiment that we all got to take the fruits of from these amazing 56 patriots that told England that you know what. In our state, we have VoteCal, which connects our counties to our state voter rolls. And then we have programs where Rock the Vote can go and register voters as well as any other organization that wants to go register voters. Our voter rolls are beyond dirty, and there's no way that they can upkeep them because we have a driver's license program that says when you go get your driver's license updated, you're automatically registered and you're opted in unless you opt out. We also know that people with non-citizens in this state are getting licenses down at the DMV. Now, the DMV tells us that they're not giving registrations to non-citizens, but we've seen the quality of the people that work at the DMV. They're not really thorough, are they? Sorry. They're not really thorough, are they? So this vote count system and how dirty our rolls are and the work that's happening all across this state, I'm working with dozens of organizations across this state and thousands of patriots that are giving their precious time to make a difference. But I will say that in Orange County and LA and our biggest counties, it's going to be a challenge, folks. And whatever we can do to do what's achievable in 2024 and to take back as many city council races and school board races as possible in our own counties is what's going to help us squeeze from the top down and the bottom up if we have a miracle of getting President Trump back in office. Our cities in California can be a sanctuary city that can tell the federal government to stay out and they can harbor illegal immigrants. But on the other side of that spectrum, Outlaw California, during the middle of COVID, said we're going to pass a resolution for our businesses to be free from COVID restrictions. San Clemente has declared themselves a Second Amendment preservation city. These things can happen if we can get fighters in our city councils. All of this stuff happening though, and give me a 1 minute or am I close? Or? Okay, I'll just say this. What we can all do though is not be disenfranchised, not be disappointed, and not be upset because the election system is rigged. We can get involved, we can educate other people, we can build community and have a commitment to God and to our family and to our country because no one's coming to save us, folks. And this is our country and we need to start applying self-governing so that we can have self-governance. Thank you.
All right, next up is Suzanne. She's going to speak on Howard Jarvis and a couple other things.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Ruiz. I work for Howard Jarvis as an actual petitioner and a volunteer. I have since 2019. Right now what we're doing is a fundraising membership drive, and that will allow us, if you come to my back table, you'll see the Taxing Times, is actual newspaper. I only have about 4 left. I had 220. I've been to actual so many events, plus I'm done with working with Dr. Judy in my events. So with that said, I've done 4 major presentations. So you can imagine how many of these I've gotten. Well, we have no more left, they have to print them out. But bottom line on the back is really what I printed. I'm taking out the back sheet and photocopying it. This is to become a member, at which time if you go ahead and send in a $15 check, or you can call them. I can give you the number, and you go and call them and give them a credit card over the phone. They will go ahead and send you the repeal the death tax petition. We're trying very, very hard to get this on the ballot. If we do not get that on the ballot, what this entails is that you have a possibility when you inherit your parents' home through a trust. I had a living trust with my mom. Don't think it cannot happen to you. Thank God for my attorney, right? She's a trust and tax attorney. So she had to go up to the tax assessor and raise fully, what. Bottom line is I did get reassessed, but they wanted to make it $11,000 on a house I was only paying $929 something a year. But it's near the beach with ocean view. So of course they assessed it at $11,000 because everything, even a cracker box, is now a cracker box as $1 million home. Okay, so we're repealing the death tax. The only way to get that petition in the mail to you is by filling out this form. I have photocopies of this back page and envelopes. I didn't buy enough stamps, but I did the last week I came. But anyway, this is repeal the death tax. You can read about it here. And then the other thing we're trying to get on the ballot for 2024 is the 2/3 party majority vote that we already won proposition, Howard Jarvis through a proposition in 2020. They're trying to repeal that. That means take it away and say we don't have 2/3 party majority vote to raise any new taxes. So the brand new Democrat idea was to have a parcel tax. So when you have a piece of property already, we already on our tax paperwork, when we file our, not on file our taxes, when we have to pay our property tax. We presently have a parcel tax on there. This is double, folks. So if you think rent's gonna get more expensive, you just think again. It's gonna get really expensive. Bottom line is California's been trying for years to erode everything Proposition 13 and Howard Jarvis Taxpayer Association has ever done for us since the late 70s. So here we go again. It takes $10 million to put one proposition on a ballot. I want you to think of that number and how much money the Democrat machine has. And how many ways are they really getting it? Through abortion clinics, like that, right? and just bad players, bottom line. But most importantly, we have two very important initiatives. There is no excuse for not donating $15 so you can go ahead and get the petition sent to you in the mail. The back of this form, excuse me, I'm so sorry. This form right here, when you fill it out, you put a $15 check in there, and they will send you the repeal of the death tax. When that comes out, then you go ahead and they'll send out this contribution form, which comes with paperwork to put on the ballot. No more tax. And we do have our 230 party rule that we want to keep. We won that. We won that unanimously, the whole state. So please donate to Howard Jarvis. It is $15 and that's all. Thank you so much.
All right, we have Sean Blair up next.
Well, I'm here to introduce myself. I've been up before talking about gun training and everything. That's my new fun job after I retire. What I'd like to talk about is I'm interested in a role in the government. I'm not sure exactly what office. I have an idea of what I would like to do, but I'm open to any suggestions. Pretty much that's what I'm looking for. Okay, pardon me. A bit about my background. As a kid, I had a father that was an electrical engineer, and he worked in the aerospace industry. He was a very logical person, and frankly, no offense to anyone here, but he's the smartest guy that